Okay, here we go. The Money in the Bank. Not so much a recap. This is going to be a little bit more in the review section, I guess. Also, I'll touch a little bit on recent developments because, again, it's so late in the game. I'm not going to be too in-depth on these matches. I'm just going to kind of give my quick and dirty thoughts about them. Starting off with the opening kickoff show match, Breeze Dango versus the Golden Truth. This was an ultimately pointless match. This could have easily just been done as a blow-off match on Raw or SmackDown. It didn't really need to be before a pay-per-view. Although I will say this, it was it had a bit more of a point to it than, say, the following tag match, the Dudley Boys versus the Lucha Dragons. You know, at least with Breeze Dango and Golden Truth, that had a build-up to it. That had the whole tanning thing, and yeah, like I said, it wasn't a great build-up, but at least it had a build-up to it. The build-up to this one was the Dudley Boys don't like other tag teams. I'm beginning to wonder if maybe the Dudleys have like some sort of a clause in their contract that says they have to be on X number of pay-per-views per year. Because I don't know if there's any other reason. Anyway, in that last one, the Lucha Dragons go over with their finisher, which I don't remember what it's even called. But you know what, actually I have the notes right here. It's the Selena del Sol and the Dragon Bomb. That's the Lucha Dragons finisher. Okay, and now we have another tag match as we move on to the show proper. It's the Fatal 4-Way Tag Match. The New Day putting the titles on the line against the Vaudevillains, the Club, a.k.a. Gallows and Anderson, Enzo and Cass, Enzo and Cass, yeah. Sorry, that's 4 teams, I guess. You know, this was a really good match, a lot of good high spots in it. My one problem with Fatal 4-Way Tag matches is there's always only 2 guys in the ring. It should really be a guy from each team in the ring, and that way we don't have teams just standing around waiting to be mysteriously tagged in or blind tagging themselves in it. I think that would add a bit more to the storytelling aspect of it. Also, another thing that was sort of missed, I've seen some of the other comments on this. I'm surprised no one missed this. There was a false 3 count made. Enzo and Cass hit their finisher. I can't remember what it's called. It used to be called the Air Enzo. Enzo does his splash. He covers, I want to say, it was one of the Vaudevillains. And the ref goes, 1, 2, 3, and he starts moving for a 4, and then there's the kick out. I mean, the crowd honestly thought Enzo and Cass had won the titles, and yeah, they didn't. And the ending of the match is, again, there's kind of a big schmoz. The ending was Big E hits the big ending on Gallows, or no, Anderson, sorry, on Anderson, but then goes over and pins Aiden English, who was just sort of lying there the whole time. That didn't make any sense. If you're going to hit the finisher on the guy, pin the guy you hit the finisher on. Yeah. So, I mean, those are just a couple drawbacks to that match. Excuse me. And now we move into another bizarre match. Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler for the 4th time. Why? Can't we just have these 2 guys move on? I mean, it was an okay match. It would have been an okay first or second match, but it's the 4th. They should have blown this. They blew this feud off at Extreme Rules. We didn't need another Corbin-Ziggler match. I mean, Corbin wins. Yeah, whatever. Please, WWE, find someone new for these guys to feud with. After that, we have the women's tag match. Charlotte and Dana Brooke against Natalya and Becky Lynch. And, again, this utterly forgettable match. Basically what happened was, I believe Natalya had Charlotte in the sharpshooter. Dana Brooke grabbed Becky Lynch and threw her into Natalya, and that allowed Charlotte to hit the natural selection and pin Natalya. And then after that, Natalya turned on Becky. Whatever. Again, not entirely sure as to why they turned Natalya heel. Again, it seems there's way too many heels in the women's division right now. It's like you got Charlotte, Dana Brooke, Natalya now. Jeez. Paige, I guess, is kind of a tweener. I don't know if she's a heel or a face. I know Sasha Banks returned at Raw, so I guess you got another face now with Becky. But other than that, yeah, it's like Emma who's injured, but you know, the Bellas, I mean, Bree's basically retired now. Nikki's still rehabbing. I don't know if they're necessarily faces. I have no idea where Ava Marie is. I mean, is she up on the main roster? Is she back at NXT? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. And now we have our next kind of forgettable match. Sheamus versus Apollo Crews. Yeah, again, the ending with this one is Sheamus does... I mean, the one high spot was Sheamus did the white noise off of the second rope, got a cover, Apollo Crews somehow kicked out. Sheamus was so shocked that it allowed Apollo to get a roll-up win, which doesn't help Apollo at all. You look out, this is probably your new Baron Corbin-Dolph Ziggler feud. I mean, this is probably not going to be very good. Okay. On the bright spot, now things finally start to pick up. We have the AJ Styles versus John Cena match. I actually like John Cena's new PBR shirt. I don't know if they settled the legal the legal scuffle, I guess, that ensued with that, but I do actually kind of like that joke. It is kind of funny. Again, they keep saying this was the dream match, and the crowd was split 50-50 pretty much. It was a really good match. Wasn't entirely enthused by the ending. I mean, I guess they want to solidify AJ Styles as being more of a heel. Although, again, heel and face nowadays really doesn't mean much. And, like I said, they want AJ to be a bit more of a heel, so they have Gallows and Anderson come out and beat... or hit Cena with the... the Magic Killer, and then Styles covers. I mean, that's fine. I mean, you look back at last year... this is kind of running parallel to the Kevin Owens John Cena feud. That worked really well. You know, Cena put Owens over clean in that match. You know, Owens didn't need a lackey to come out, and I think that helped Owens in the long run, even though Owens did ultimately lose that feud. In this case, I don't see it helping AJ very much. Okay, after that, we have the Money in the Bank ladder match. Dean Ambrose versus Cesaro versus Del Rio versus Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho. And, man, the show was 3.5 hours long. I think it's because they needed to put introductions for each, yeah, and also that fatal 4-way tag match. They had all the introductions come out, and just touching back on the fatal 4-way briefly for a second. And... you know, both New Day and Enzo and Cass have really kind of long time encompassing intros, and that didn't really help much. Anyway, back to the ladder match. You know, there were a lot of high points, obviously. You know, you had your big spot points. Obviously, the one shot everyone remembers is Kevin Owens taking the Homer Simpson fire hydrant bump on the ladder that one time, and of course the weird scene where you had all 6 men fighting on the bridging ladders to the main ladder in the middle of the ring. Also, a lot of people sort of noticed that Sami Zayn had a pretty good shot at the Money in the Bank title, but he kept delaying, which does not help. Obviously, Dean Ambrose won, and we'll obviously touch on what happened after that, but Anyway. And while things were starting to pick up now, obviously we have our nice cool down match before the main event. The United States Championship match, Rusev versus Titus O'Neil. And, yeah, Rusev won. That's really all you need to know. I mean, I'm sure you even know that by now. And that brings us into the main event, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. And yes, we'll be touching on something that comes up. Don't worry. Now, the announce, I don't know if this applies much to the house show circuit as much. I don't know if Rollins has been wrestling on there. I think some people talked about it was very ginger in the beginning. And I think that was because they were trying to protect Rollins' knee just a little bit. I mean, if this really was his first match back, that would be understandable. Like I said, it kind of took a few minutes for the match to kind of get to picking up. Obviously, a lot of the big spots were Rollins doing a sunset flip powerbomb for the first time since he hurt his knee, because that was what he was doing when he hurt his knee. Reigns going for the spear into the barricade, but Rollins dodging out of the way, and the barricade not giving way. This time was not rigged to collapse. Of course, obviously, Rollins countering the spear with the pedigree, getting the 2 count, but then hitting another pedigree, getting the 3 count, winning the championship. And then, of course, as you probably know now, Dean Ambrose music hits. Rollins immediately starts looking to the entryway, waiting for someone to come. Ambrose comes up behind him and hits him in the back with the head with the briefcase. I don't know, it did him in the back of the head. He hit him in the... It basically took him down with the briefcase. He cashed in Money in the Bank, hit Dirty Deeds, covered him. Dean Ambrose is your new World Heavyweight Champion. I am still waiting for Michael Cole to be replaced with a fish tank. I don't know why this has happened. This has not happened. You need to follow through on your promises, Dean. Anyway, that was the show. Overall, the Cena Styles match and the ladder match and the main event were good. The rest of it, and the tag match was also the Fatal 4-Way tag match was also pretty good. The rest of it was pretty unforgettable. I mean, so this is straight middle of the road. C for Money in the Bank 2016. Okay, and now all our big news that comes out of this. First and foremost, the Raw SmackDown draft for the brand split for the first time will be held on SmackDown. The first live SmackDown on I think it's July 20th, I believe. Let me check. Let's see. Yeah, Tuesday, July 19th. July 19th. It'll be on SmackDown, and obviously I think that's a really good thing. It's going to help garner even more interest for the first live SmackDown. Now, if they could build any momentum off this and continue it so that the next live SmackDown does well, that remains to be seen. I guess we'll have to see how all that shakes out. Also, on Raw the next night, they had the match. Basically, they announced that Battleground is going to be the Shield Triple Threat match, and everyone was pretty sure that they're kind of jumping the gun on that. I would have held off till SummerSlam. I think that's a bigger show for that type of match. Battleground's, a stopgap pay-per-view, really, in a way. And, of course, then after that, Roman Reigns gets suspended 30 days for failing the wellness policy. Now, like I said, I don't know the entire aspects of it. I'm sure most of it will not be fully revealed. Did they know going into Money in the Bank that this was happening? So they had Rollins win and then Ambrose win? Maybe. I don't know. Now, I don't think this is going to affect the Battleground main event at all, unless they do contrive a reason for Reigns to not be there, or they shoot like a quick injury angle or something. Or maybe and it's just a one-on-one match the whole time. Maybe. I don't know. Is he going to be out of it? The suspension will end about 4 days before Battleground, which is on July 24th, so probably not going to affect it that much. And, like I said, Battleground will be July 24th, so that's obviously the next wrestling recap. And that'll be the more proper wrestling recap. And like I said, don't know how this is going to shape up. I mean, Battleground was always kind of a... I mean, the July pay-per-view was always just kind of a stopgap. You had something in between the June pay-per-view and the, SummerSlam, which is in August. I really wish they would stave off that triple threat until SummerSlam. Again, maybe they could just do something, have, Reigns get attacked or something, take him out. Or maybe Rollins gets attacked again, and you wonder, was it Ambrose? Was it Reigns? I mean, a lot of people are saying that because of the wellness policy suspension, that Reigns is going. It could be the impetus to finally turn him heel. I mean, he was kind of starting to turn heel on Raw a little bit. He even came in there. He said, he basically talked to Dean. And he said, look, you're my buddy. I'm glad you won. I'm glad you're world champion. But I'm glad you cashed it on Seth. And like, well, and you basically responded, I would have cashed it in on you because both of you were exhausted. That's what was my time to cash in. Maybe, I could certainly see, that being the impetus to turn Reigns heel because maybe they've lost faith in him a little bit, or maybe even a lot. Like I said, I don't know. I'm getting repetitive. Obviously, the next review will be on Sunday, and that's the Planetary Brigade Random Trade Review. See you all then.